Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Robert, and today I am bringing to a video. It's been a couple of weeks, or maybe even nearly a month, since I've uploaded, but today we're going over the recent controversial and very popular subject that is Logan Paul. Now, I'll be honest, I'm sure there are tons of opinions I can have in relation to things that he's bought, different hobbies and such that he's dived into. But recently, I'm not gonna lie, it's just like, I feel like it's on purpose, and knowing his mentality, it just feels like it's purposeful that he says certain things, buys certain things, and does certain things with the intent to get the reaction, to get the publicity and all of the traction going, all of the quote tweets, all of things in general that just happen when he opens his mouth or when he types a couple of words. And I'll be honest, I feel absolutely awful right now. I've like picked up the flu bug thing that's been going around, and it's been like 2 weeks and it just hasn't really left, and I feel amazing as a result. So yeah, anyway, now I'll be honest, when it comes to subjects like this, that it's people who are, very popular, have a large following, buy into something, you see NBA players, you see baseball players, you see golfers, you see footballers, you see pretty much everyone across the board doing it, like NFL, like everyone pretty much does it. They might open Pokemon, they might open Yu-Gi-Oh, they might be Magic the Gathering, they might be Dungeon and Dragon type people that just do that in their spare time and have done that for a majority of the time. But then you hit this weird area where it's people doing it, but they're not really doing it for anything besides the fact of, oh, I can open 300 packs, I didn't get anything, oh well, let's just throw it into the tub and move on. I didn't get the cool card that everyone's talking about, I can't put it on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, whatever in the end, you know what I mean? And I think that's the awkward part that we've sort of come to just coexist with, almost, because it's just bound to happen that people will buy things, people will do things, and people will say things without really caring, you know what I mean? Or they'll put the sort of tweet to get the traction of, oh, what's this? I don't know what I bought. And it's like several cases of something, and you're just like, really? You didn't know what you were buying? And I'm all for people educating themselves, I'm not gonna lie. If someone's a casual, like I'm basically a casual, it's just that I've probably watched more than 500 or 600 animes in the end. I don't really read a lot of the manga. The manga that I've read in the past has been very, sort of mainstream, it's Hunter x Hunter, it's One Punch Man. I read up to 1,000 or 1,006 on One Piece, and I've sort of stopped because I'll be honest, I've picked up more manhwa than anything in the end. I just have, and I've read I think 60 now in the last 2 months, but most of them haven't finished. I think only 3 of them that I've been reading have finished. The rest have gone to 150 to 190 chapters. Only 10 have been 300 plus, but that's besides the point, obviously. So I guess you could call me casual to that point. I mean, I've grown up in and around this, but it's not like I'm so in depth that I'll know a character's favorite color or favorite meal. Do you know what I mean? I even had a Yu Yu Hakusho backpack growing up, which was really cool. And it's really disappointing that I don't have it anymore, because when I was moving, my brother was just like, oh, we getting rid of things. And I was like, yeah, get rid. And I didn't realize right next to the pile of get rid was where I just sat the backpack, and it just gone. Not like I'd had it since I was 5 or 6. Okay. But in relation to Logan Paul, it's just, I don't know, he talks about these things, back on subject, there's no heart or soul behind it. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know how to phrase it. It just feels so unnatural, and there's just something that just irks me about it. I don't know what it is, because he'll say things on purpose, like Luffy D Monkey, and this and that and the other, with the intent to get those clicks, that traction. That's bound to happen. But then there's just this art of, I don't know, just not, it's not even being nonchalant, it's just not caring. He'll drop more money than I will probably ever make. Like, let's be real. And just not really care. It's just like a status. It's a symbol. It's showing his wealth with the intent of getting what he wants in return. And he talks about it like it's a stock portfolio, you know, it's an investment, you know. He talks about buying like the first ever appearance of like, it would be like Goku or Luffy or Naruto or like, oh God, it's so uncomfortable realistically. And he won't care about any of it beyond the pale. Like there's no appreciation. It's the appreciation that the item has got a certain grade. It's not appreciating what it is at its core, you know, the artwork, the effort, everything gone into it, even to get to the point of publishing a manga itself. Because do you know how many things get axed before they can even get published, or how many make it into Weekly Shonen and then they get axed after like 20 chapters, 10 chapters, 30 chapters, who don't make it past this initial, you know, amount of hype, of traction, and there's no appreciation for that. It's just this, here it is. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so uncomfortable. Like, I've got a couple of manga that I will never be able to probably read unless I fully, you know, understand Japanese and kanji and such, because they're just simplistic first editions, you know, or first prints. It's just One Punch Man, free run, and then like a chapter of One Piece. And then beyond that, I've just got the English. I've probably got like 50 English manga, and that's it. Nothing crazy, nothing insane. And I bought them years ago. Done. But with this, it's just so soulless that it's just a stock portfolio. It's a thing where it's just like, oh, this is number 1 in the world, this is number 2 in the world, this is number 3 in the world, and I've got all of them. That's it. So yeah, let's jump into some of the tweets anyway. It is just uncomfortable. I can't lie. It really is just uncomfortable. But that's life. At the end of the day, he does what he wants with his money. He's got the reactions and such that he wants in return, and I'm not going to lie, all of the crypto investor bros, stock bros are just going to be following him, you know, because there have been places that have been doing this for decades and are true, like, they look at it as a portfolio and a future investment, but they've also been doing it for so long that they come to appreciate it because they've been doing it for like 20 years. That's just not going to happen with these people. If they see it, and say like 2 months ago something was 5,000 and it's now 60,000, they will not care. They will pay the 60,000 and just move on. So it's the same as all the recent like massive hype on some of the old Pokemon like Mew, Mewtwo cards and this and that and the other and Gengars and everything. They'll just pay whatever because as long as they buy up the market, there's not going to be any more realistically. So yeah, even though there are probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of some of these printed. So anyway, so we've got a clip of Logan. I'll unmute it, turn it up a bit. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to. But I found this tweet that was very much in line and hitting the nail on the head to what I feel, which is that Logan says it's the birthplace of some of the biggest IPs or franchises. And the issue... this is the issue with Logan Paul. He doesn't view these stories as art or a piece of an author's soul. He views them as money bags, ways to collect a check. I can't imagine interacting with art so coldly. It's disgusting, which is true. There's no appreciation. Anyway, let's listen.
What I've spent a lot of money on that no one knows about until this moment is manga. Japanese comics, the birthplace of some of the biggest IP and the biggest franchises in the world. Ooh. And I'm an anime fan, a casual anime fan. I know people go crazy, but I love my One Piece, I love my Demon Slayer, my One Punch Man, and Dragon Ball, obviously. And maybe some of you saw on my Instagram, I actually have the most expensive manga of all time. So like the Pikachu illustrator of manga. It's a Dragon Ball 9.2, highest grade in the world, Pop 1. And I actually don't have it, it's in the vault right now, but just to give you guys an idea of like the type of money these things are going for, me and Jeremy Padower went $550,000 for this book. This one is also equally special. A One Piece graded 9.0, second highest in the entire world. It took Superman 90 years to sell 600 million copies. One Piece did it, like this series, this manga, in just 30 years. But someone on my team does love One Piece. I'm gonna show it to him. I'm not gonna gift it to him, but I do want him to see, you know, the first chapter of One Piece, like literally where the entire frame.
I think this is kind of cool to show someone, obviously, who is a fan, who will appreciate it. But it's just, there's just something off, isn't there?
Franchise started.
Like,
Maybe kickstart his manga journey.
let's be
I'll show you
honest.
something I think you're gonna like. Chapter 1 of One Piece, the first canon appearance of Monkey.
And I appreciate Speed. I can't lie. Like, at the end of the day, I appreciate him because out of all of the people, out of all of the creators, he's really dived like full on into it, but he doesn't discuss it. He'll just have things, artwork, different things like that, and just be someone who supports it. A lot of people will be like, oh, I don't know why they use the word LARPing. People, please stop using the word LARPing. Live action roleplay, it's so weird to use it in trying to give it a new name. Like, it's not. If someone is just a anime person, you know, I've been I like stopped the manga after, well, like just over 1,000, but like, yeah, just
D. Luffy.
so
Wait, this is the first manga.
Yes.
Volume 1.
Yes, Volume 1. Second highest graded in the world, 9.0. One Piece, we all know it, we all love it. I know you love it. It started here. This is Volume 1.
We all know, we
they
all
would take
love
it from
it.
the magazine and then make the first ever, like, actually dedicated One Piece book.
Oh,
It's probably $300,000 to $400,000 book.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
As a One Piece fan, this is crazy. This show actually saved my life.
What do you mean One Piece saved your life?
It saved my life.
What do you mean by that?
You remember back in quarantine?
Yeah?
I was depressed before like watching it.
No
but then when I
way.
started watching it, it started to get like motivation.
Holy sh**.
yeah, I appreciate Speed. I do. I appreciate Speed. The way that he just shows it, and it's just like, I don't know. It just, yeah, I kind of appreciate this tweet. I can't lie. So then Logan's obviously put, truly humbled by all the love I've been getting from the One Piece community. So I bought a couple more goodies. One Piece Volume 1, an origin piece of the best-selling manga ever, graded 9.6. Original One Piece production script, graded 9.8, pop 1, where Luffy gets his first wanted poster. They're saying, no, they didn't, for the reaction from the public. And I can't lie, this 9.6 was genuinely like 1,500 to like 3,000 a year 2 years ago. Like, when I was looking into all the manga and trying to pick up a first print, because I really wanted a first print, and they were literally like 180 to like £300, and then the graded were, you know, just above. It's kind of insane that you now look that a 9.6 is genuinely like 35, 45, 50,000, and will just continue climbing because of individuals like this in the end. We then have the response to my manga purchases, so overwhelmingly positive in my opinion, that I said double down and grab 2 more copies of Chapter 1. No, it was not. And Speed put, he bought Chapter 1 twice and is still on episode 0. Mentally. Yeah, again, another thing within manga, someone's put, welcome back to the 90s, like you never left, and then people were just putting, great, now manga is just going to jump in prices, hate value-based collectors and speculators so much they ruin our hobbies and make it unaffordable, which is true. That person obviously clarifies not to go after people just because they're buying things or showing things that they're bought, which, yeah, I wouldn't, there's no point hating on people for anything. And then obviously we've got the thing of Logan Paul obviously announcing that he's got this and showing that it's, the thing is like, it's a pop 3, it's a pop 1, second in the world, only this, only that. And it's like, oh God, it's really uncomfortable, isn't it? Like, I saw a clip of him opening like, what was it, like $2,000 or 2,000 packs of Pokemon, and every single card that was pulled had to be showed as its value as a PSA 10. And it's just like, why do we even need to do that? Like, genuinely, just show either the raw price or nothing at all. Done. Do you know what I mean? It's insane what's become of things. That it's just like that. With Totally Not Mark saying, here's my tattered OG copy of Goku vs Vegeta that I bought in 2021. It might not be worth much, but I guess I love this manga for more than what it can resell for, which I appreciate that. So, yeah. On a different thing to that, I really don't know why. There's this whole One Piece hate that's been going on as well, because Absolute Batman did the Gear 2 pose, and people were like, it's not, you're just making stuff up. And the author themselves of it posted it, like, on Instagram. So, yeah, I really don't understand the hate. I cannot lie. But anyway, it's just a side note. We have a bit of a longer tweet. The thing that bothers me is that he doesn't have any true interest in these hobbies beyond his own vanity. Look at me, I own this rare thing that you want. Exactly. If the brother was repping Dragon Ball or One Piece at WWE shows with his gear, or posting opinions about the shows or all the new announcements, I wouldn't even care. You think Logan Paul reads manga? People that read manga would talk about it at least once or twice in their very public lives, don't you think? All this man does is walk into hobbies and ruin them by turning them into speculative markets for loser investor bros, which is basically completely true in the end. I can't lie. I've seen so many like NBA and NFL players talk about it during things, and people will be like, what's your favorite thing? And they'll just go like bar for bar explaining everything, and it just doesn't really happen. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't. So I don't know, it's just one of those things. Yet again though, saying this dude doesn't even know the name of the main character of the series he's trying to LARP. Can we stop using LARP, please? And then we have a speed post that got 31 million views with 600,000 hearts, likes. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? It really is. But yeah. And look, here's the thing, like I said, I don't really care, because I could be considered a casual at the end of the day, just one that appreciates things maybe and has bought things in the past before they were popular. Like, people used to dog on you. Like, they used to really rip on you for watching anime. I'm not gonna lie. People really did to me, because they call it childish. They call it all these other things. And now it's become like a mainstream thing where it's like, oh, it's cool. You know, I watch this or I watch that. You know, oh, if you don't watch this, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, a lot of opinions and a lot of differing views and a lot of hate as a result. Literally, it's kind of crazy how much it's turned around, and how much people want to act like they were a part of it in the first place, if you know what I mean. Like, oh no, I used to watch that back in, and it's like, you really didn't. Like, I used to get ripped on for watching things, and if I discuss it, they'd be like, what's that? And I try to explain that it's like a Japanese cartoon is the easiest way to put it, and they're like, you watch cartoons? It's like, grow up. And it was just like, oh, come on, like, it's not that serious. But yeah, I don't know. We go through these waves and these different eras of things. I feel like this is just another one that people are just going to have to get used to. It just is what it is in the end, but it is definitely just him back at it again, isn't it? And yeah, at the end of the day, he does what he wants with his money. All we can do is just yap and complain about things, but it does make it very unfortunate, because this happens in a lot of markets at the end of the day. And if you were there at the beginning of things and you see where they are now, it's the same as like booster boxes with One Piece. You know, I used to spend £60 a box. It went up to £64.95, then 70, £74.95, £79.95, and now places try to charge 120 to 190 and act like that's normal. And people say, you know, oh, what are you complaining for? Like, blah, blah. And it's just like, because you weren't there. It's the whole thing of, you know, where people got into things with like COVID and such, and they didn't really care. Do you know what I mean? And then they said, you know, oh, I've been collecting since, you know, like 2022, 2021. And it's just like, brother, please stop. You joined in when everyone else did. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people just say that. They're like, you weren't here. I was here from... And it's like, oh, God. I wish I had all my original things, because it would just make life so much easier to be like, here's my original Blue Eyes, here's my original Black Luster. Do you know what I mean? And I wish I could find them, I really do. That and my Pixar film collection. I had a Pixar film collection, a metal tub, like a case basically, that had all original Pixar film releases, and that went missing with my Yu-Gi-Oh collection. Anyway, that's going to cover this video. That's going to cover me yapping. I hope that everyone's been well, other than me, because it's been a minute since I've uploaded. But yeah, that is going to cover it. I've just been a little bit busy and not well in the end. So yeah, I do hope all of you are doing good. And other than that, let me know your thoughts and opinions, you know, how you feel about all of this in the end. And other than that, I do hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.